All right, guys, so this is basically a full stack application, but we need a back end. We need some kind of API to work with. And what we're going to do is we're going to use something called JSON Server, which is part of that JSON placeholder service that we used back in the asynchronous section. And what it does is it allows us to mimic a complete REST API, basically just using a JSON file. Okay, and we can run the server, we can stop the server, we can view our data. It's really nice. It's probably one of the best tools that I've come across. So that's what we're going to do, and we can install it with npm. So we're going to go down here. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is open up another terminal window. Right now we have our Webpack running here, but I'm going to let's see, I'm going to go to my micropost folder, which is right here, and just open up another git bash window. And of course, if you're using a different terminal or command line, that's fine. And then we're going to say npm install JSON-server. All right, and then we're going to add -- save to make sure that it's saved to our package.json file. Now, if you're using npm version 5 or later, you don't need -- save, but I always put it in my videos just in case someone's using an earlier version. All right, because it will automatically save it to package.json now with npm 5. All right, so let's go ahead and run this. And then if we go to our where is it? Package.json, we should see it show up here. I installed it as a regular dependency, not a dev dependency. All right, so now that that's installed, let me actually open up the documentation for you guys. Let's see. I'm going to just go down here and let's say JSON-server. Okay, so you might want to read through the documentation, but basically we need to create a file called db.json, or you can call it whatever you want, but we're going to call it db.json like the documentation. And then you can call JSON server watch and then that file, and that's going to act as your API, and it's going to even give you URLs to use like this. It's going to open on port 3000. You can create posts or any kind of data structure you want. Okay, if you want it to be users or posts or to-dos, whatever you want. Which makes it much more flexible than just using the standard remote service like we used before. Okay, so what I want to do is create a script, an npm script that will run this automatically. So let's go into package.json, and up where we have our scripts, let's put a comma here, and then I'm going to call this JSON:server like that. So then we can run npm run JSON server. And then we're going to just put in what's right here. So JSON server, needs to be in quotes, JSON server -- watch. And then I'm actually going to put this inside of a folder called API. So we'll say API/db.json. And then it'll watch that file on port 3000. So we'll save this. And then let's go and create a new folder. We're going to create it in the root, and we're going to call it API. You can call it server or whatever you want. And then new file, db.json. And then let's just create an initial structure to work with. Okay, like I said, we will be able to add to this file through our application, delete things, update things. But let's just first set it up with a JSON object, and we'll say posts, and then this will be an array of post objects. So we'll put some in here. Let's say ID 1. So it'll have an ID, a title, and a body. So for title, we'll just say post 1, and then body. This is post 1. Now with JSON, you have to make sure your keys are wrapped in double quotes. Okay, these all need to be in double quotes, which is different from a JavaScript object literal. And then obviously your strings should be in quotes. Your numbers don't have to be if they're going to be numbers. So let's go ahead and just copy this post, and we'll do 2 more. So this will be ID 2 and 3. This will be post 2. And the way that we're building our front end with JavaScript, this could be a Node.js API, this could be a Python or PHP API, anything like that. Okay, it just mimics a REST API. It doesn't matter what we would be working with. The front end is going to be the same. It's just going to be, different URLs. So let's go ahead and close this. This should be all set. Make sure it looks exactly like this. You have no errors. And then let's try and run our JSON server. I don't want to run it down here because I want this terminal freed up. So we're going to go back to the second one that I opened, which is this one. And we're going to say npm run JSON:server. And there we go. So you can see it started on port 3000 and we have /posts because we define that in our db.json. So now if we go to localhost port 3000, it actually gives us this nice little welcome page, and it shows us all of our resources. So if we put something else like users inside that file, that would show here. And it says we have 3 posts. If we click on posts, it'll actually show us our JSON. It'll show us the response. All right, if we click on this DB, it'll show your whole database, and you can have relations, and this is just an awesome tool to have. And you can make all of these types of requests to your API, to this backend API. All right, so now that we have that set up, we're going to let that run. You want to make sure that that server runs. And in the next video, we'll go ahead and we'll start on the JavaScript of our application.